A local politician who's taken on the mob and illegal immigration found something particularly disturbing at his suburban home last week. Somebody left a dead goat in New York Assemblyman Gregory Ball's yard in Putnam County. There was a menacing note found attached to the animal's neck, signed with the name of a notorious Central American gang. Assemblyman Ball joins us tonight. And you do think this is gang-related, I take it?
You know what? I don't. I've said that from the very beginning. If I thought that this was MS-13, I'd probably be asking to stay in your house tonight, Chuck, because there's some pretty nasty folks.
Well, MS-13 was on the note, was it not?
It was seemed to be cast in broken Spanish, and it did on the bottom say, you know, long live MS-13. But I've taken on the political machine locally. We took on a $1.5 million no-bid contract for the mob and this sort of thing. So there are a lot of powerful toes that I've stepped on, and I certainly hope it's not the gang, but law enforcement's on it. So.
How much protection are you getting from the local police right now?
You know, the state police have taken over lead on the investigation, and they're working very diligently, all angles, and the Putnam County Sheriff's Department has been very good in patrolling the house, patrolling the neighborhood. And this is a year of harassment now. I mean, we've had cars that were keyed, billboards that were vandalized, calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, blood and hair put in mailboxes of political allies that I've had. So it's just continued to reach a crescendo. And I'm an animal lover. If somebody actually killed this animal to make a political point, I mean, they're sick. They need to be checked into a clinic. So hopefully we'll find out who this is.
Well, take me back to that night when you got home and you saw something in your yard. What went through your mind?
Yeah, you know, right now I'm driving back and forth to Albany. As you've seen, we're fighting on the budget and trying to fight these crazy taxes. So I drove home and worked pretty late in my campaign office there that night. Drove up around 11:15 at night, actually with my girlfriend, and in the middle of the road, right in front of my house, which is close to the road, was what seemed like a dead animal. We didn't know what it was at first. I thought maybe a dog. I told her to stay in the car. Got out of the car, took a look at it. I grew up on a farm. I actually raised goats. I was in 4-H for 10 years. Around its neck had a nylon rope, and then that sign. I asked her to, you know, immediately call 911, and myself, I called the county sheriff at that time.
You mentioned crazy taxes. Off topic a little bit here, but yeah. You're not very happy with the idea of New York State raising taxes to close the. You know,
we cannot dig our way out of this hole. We cannot tax our way out of this hole. The reality is, sure, you know, Wall Street represents 25% of our income, but the reason why New York State is in such bad shape is because this legislature is hopelessly addicted to spending, and we have continued to leverage ourselves into debt through backdoor borrowing. So we have to cut the fat. We have to do everything we can to make sure that we're taking care of the elderly and the kids. But we can't tax our way out of this situation.
Well, you don't have much clout in Albany now, do you?
You know, there's a lot you can do with the bully pulpit, and we have to continue to do that. Look, I mean, he just withdrew on these taxes, and it was our conference, the Republican conference, that fought very hard. It used to be 3 men in the room. I don't even think Sheldon Silver lets this governor in the room anymore, so, you know, we'll see where we end up.
Do you have any ambitions beyond the Assembly, where it is you're thinking of running for Congress?
Yeah, we have kicked off an exploratory committee for the congressional campaign. I'm a former Air Force captain. I was actually got a congressional nomination from Congresswoman Sue Kelly, who's defeated by the current congressman. So we're in the process of getting out there and really looking forward to it. The response has been great.
These are tough days for Republicans running for office in New York.
Yeah, I'm an endangered species. I know what I know what the manatee and you know, the other endangered species feel like. But look, you know, it's never been more important to have people on both sides of the aisle shaking things up, whether it be in Albany or Washington, D.C., and there seems to be a lack of leadership in both capitals.
All right, well, listen, you're hanging in there, and this is obviously a tough fight you've got in your hands just in your local area with all of this harassment going on, but we appreciate you coming down here and chatting with us.
It's an honor to be here.
Thanks a lot.